Not a diet, not a workout, not another complicated routine that takes over your life, just a simple drink around 10 ounces. And for some people, the shift begins faster than they expect. Belly fat that felt stuck for years starts to loosen. Energy stops crashing in the middle of the day. Hunger becomes quieter, more controlled. And here's the part that makes it even more interesting. Almost no one is talking about it in a clear, simple way. Instead, most people either ignore it or they use it completely wrong without even realizing it. That's why results feel random. That's why frustration builds. And that's exactly what this video is going to fix. Deep inside your body, there is a type of fat that doesn't just sit under the skin, it wraps around your organs. It affects how your body handles sugar, energy, and even stress. This is visceral fat. It's not always visible at first glance, but it plays a major role in how your body feels every single day. When this fat builds up, your body becomes more resistant. Signals get mixed. Hunger increases, energy drops, and no matter how hard you try, progress feels slow. The real problem is not just what you eat or how much you move. The real problem is how your body is responding on the inside. And one of the biggest players controlling that response is something most people never fully understand. Insulin. Insulin is not the enemy, it's a signal, a powerful one. When it rises too often or stays high for too long, your body shifts into storage mode. Fat gets locked in, burning slows down, cravings become stronger, and this is where things start to spiral. You eat less, but still don't see results. You try harder, but feel more tired. It becomes a cycle that feels impossible to break. But here's the twist that changes everything. When insulin drops, even slightly, your body begins to unlock stored fat again. It starts releasing energy instead of holding on to it. And that's where the simple 10-ounce drink comes in. This is not about magic. It's about giving your body the right signal at the right time. The kind of signal that helps stabilize blood sugar, reduce spikes, and support a more balanced internal state. When that happens, your body doesn't have to fight itself anymore. It starts working with you. And that's when changes begin to feel natural instead of forced. Some people notice lighter mornings. Others feel fewer cravings throughout the day. Some even see small changes in their waistline sooner than expected. But here's the detail most people miss. It's not just what's in the drink, it's how it's used, when it's used, and what mistakes are quietly blocking the results. In this video, you're going to learn exactly what this 10-ounce drink is, what makes it so effective, and how it connects directly to insulin and visceral fat. Everything will be broken down in the simplest way possible so you can actually understand what's happening inside your body without confusion. You'll also learn the specific ingredients that make this work, why each one matters, and how they support your body step by step. No complicated science, just clear explanations that make sense. On top of that, you'll discover the biggest mistakes people make when trying this, mistakes that completely cancel out the benefits without them even knowing. Fixing just one of those mistakes can change your results faster than expected. There's also something else most people overlook: timing. When you take something can be just as important as what you take. The body follows patterns. Hormones rise and fall throughout the day. And when you align with those patterns instead of working against them, everything becomes easier. This video will show you how to use that to your advantage in a simple, practical way that fits into daily life. No extreme rules, no unrealistic expectations, just small adjustments that create real impact over time. By the end of this video, you will have a clear understanding of how to support your body in reducing visceral fat more effectively, how to help lower unnecessary insulin spikes, and how to use this simple 10-ounce approach the right way. You'll know what to do, what to avoid, and how to stay consistent without feeling overwhelmed. Because the truth is, your body is not broken, it just needs the right signals. And sometimes those signals come from the smallest changes. So stay with me until the end, because the details matter more than you think. And missing even one small part can make all the difference between seeing results or staying stuck in the same cycle. Welcome to the channel, where we break down complex health ideas into simple truths that actually work in real life. If you're ready to understand your body better and take control in a smarter way, make sure to subscribe and be part of this journey toward better health, one simple step at a time. The part that frustrates people the most is not the effort, it's the lack of results. You try to eat better, you try to move more, you cut things out, you stay consistent for days or even weeks, and still that stubborn belly area barely changes. It feels different from other fat. It feels deeper, tighter, almost like it's locked in place. You can pinch fat on your arms or legs and see small changes over time, but this one stays firm, almost resistant. That's because this is not just surface fat. This is visceral fat. It sits deeper inside around your organs and it behaves differently. It doesn't respond the same way to simple calorie cuts or random exercise routines. And that's where confusion begins because most people treat all fat the same, but the body doesn't work that way. At the same time, cravings keep showing up. Even after a full meal, there's still that urge to eat something sweet or something extra. It feels like your body is asking for more even when it shouldn't. Then comes the energy drop. You start your day feeling okay, maybe even motivated, but by the middle of the day, energy crashes, focus fades. You feel slow, heavy, and tired without any clear reason. That cycle repeats day after day. Eat, feel full, crave again, feel tired, repeat. It starts to feel like your body is working against you, not with you. And that's the part that makes it emotional. Because it's not just about appearance, it's not just about weight, it's about control. It's about feeling like no matter what you do, something inside is not responding the way it should. Most people blame themselves at this stage. They think they are not disciplined enough or not trying hard enough. But the truth is, this is not just about willpower. This is about what's happening inside your body. There are signals being sent every single day that decide whether your body stores fat or burns it. And when those signals are out of balance, effort alone is not enough. You can push harder, eat less, exercise more, but if the internal signals are telling your body to store, it will keep storing. That's why progress feels slow or even stuck. Now, here's where things start to shift in a surprising way. Instead of focusing only on food quantity or exercise intensity, there is a much simpler lever that can change how your body behaves. A small, controlled input that can influence those internal signals in a very direct way. And this is where that simple 10-ounce drink comes in. It sounds almost too simple, but the idea behind it is not random. It's based on how your body reacts to certain inputs at specific times. This drink is not just about what it contains, it's about how it interacts with your body's system, especially the system that controls fat storage and energy use. But it's important not to rush this part because understanding why it works is what makes it powerful. Without that understanding, it just becomes another thing people try for a few days and then forget. This drink helps your body switch modes. That's the key idea. Your body has two main modes when it comes to energy. One mode stores energy, the other burns it. Most people today spend too much time in storage mode without even realizing it. And that's where fat builds up, especially visceral fat. What this drink does is help nudge your body out of that constant storage mode and into a state where it can actually start using stored fat again. And the switch between these two modes is controlled by something very important: insulin. This is where everything connects. Insulin is not just about sugar. It is one of the main signals that tells your body what to do with energy. When insulin levels are high, your body gets the message to store. It stores sugar, it stores fat, and it holds on to what it already has. That's useful in certain situations, but when it happens too often, it becomes a problem. Fat gets locked in. Burning slows down. Hunger signals become confusing. Energy becomes unstable. Think of insulin like a lock on your fat. When insulin is high, the lock is closed. Your body cannot easily access stored fat for energy. It's there, but it's not available. That's why you can feel low on energy even when your body has enough stored fat. It's not about having energy, it's about being able to use it. And when insulin drops, that lock starts to open. Your body can finally access stored fat and use it as fuel. that's when things begin to change. Visceral fat is especially sensitive to this process. It responds faster when insulin levels come down. That's why focusing on insulin can have a noticeable impact in a shorter time compared to other approaches. It doesn't mean everything changes overnight, but it means the body finally gets the signal it needs to start moving in the right direction. And that's exactly what this 10-ounce drink is designed to support. It helps reduce unnecessary spikes in insulin and keeps your body in a more balanced state for longer periods of time. Now, when your body is in that balanced state, a few important things start to happen. Blood sugar becomes more stable instead of sharp rises and sudden drops. Levels stay more even throughout the day. That alone changes how you feel. Energy becomes smoother. Cravings start to reduce because your body is no longer reacting to extreme highs and lows. And when those signals calm down, you naturally eat in a more controlled way without forcing it. At the same time, fat burning signals improve. This does not mean your body suddenly burns everything instantly. It means the environment inside your body becomes more supportive of fat use instead of fat storage. Over time, that shift creates visible and noticeable changes. The key word here is support. This drink supports your body in doing what it is already designed to do, but in a more efficient way. And it's important to stay realistic here. This is not magic. It's not a shortcut that replaces everything else. But when used correctly, it can be very effective. It works with your body, not against it. It simplifies something that often feels complicated. Instead of guessing what to do next or jumping from one method to another, you give your body a clear and consistent signal. And when that signal is repeated daily, the body starts to respond in a more predictable way. What makes this even more interesting is how small the change actually is. 10 ounces is not a large amount. It's simple, manageable, and easy to include in a daily routine. But small does not mean weak. Sometimes the smallest inputs have the biggest impact when they target the right system. And in this case, the system being targeted is one of the most important ones for fat loss and energy balance. As this continues, the body slowly moves away from that constant cycle of storing and crashing. Instead of feeling like you are fighting your own system, things begin to feel smoother. Hunger becomes more natural instead of urgent. Energy feels more stable instead of unpredictable. And that stubborn area around the belly starts to respond, not because of extreme effort, but because the internal conditions are finally aligned. This is why understanding the problem is so important. Without it, everything feels random. With it, everything starts to make sense. The struggle is not just about eating too much or moving too little. It's about signals being out of sync. And once those signals are corrected, even slightly, the body begins to shift in ways that feel almost surprising at first. But in reality, it's just the body doing what it was always meant to do when given the right conditions. Now comes the part most people are curious about. What is actually inside this simple 10-ounce drink that makes such a difference? And the truth is, it's not complicated, but the way these ingredients work together is what makes it powerful. The first ingredient is something very simple, something many people already know but don't use in the right way, and that is apple cider vinegar. Not in large amounts, not in extreme doses, just a small controlled amount. What it does inside the body is very interesting. It helps slow down how quickly sugar enters your bloodstream after you eat. That means instead of a sharp spike in blood sugar, you get a smoother rise. And when that spike is reduced, insulin does not shoot up as high. That alone changes how your body responds to food. Instead of storing more, it stays more balanced. Over time, this small effect adds up. It also supports digestion and helps the body process food in a more steady way, which plays a role in reducing that heavy feeling after meals. The second ingredient is fresh lemon juice. Again, simple, natural, and easy to get, but inside the body, it does more than people expect. Lemon juice adds a light acidic effect that supports how the stomach breaks down food. It can also help improve how your body responds to glucose. When used together with apple cider vinegar, it enhances that stabilizing effect on blood sugar. It's not about making the drink taste better, although it does help with that. It's about creating a combination that supports balance inside your system. It also gives a refreshing feel, which makes it easier to stay consistent with the routine without feeling like it's a chore. The third ingredient is cinnamon. This is where things become even more interesting. Cinnamon has been studied for its ability to support blood sugar control. It helps your cells respond better to insulin. That means your body does not need to produce as much insulin to handle the same amount of sugar. And when insulin demand goes down, the body stays in a more relaxed state instead of a constant storage mode. This is important because it supports that shift from storing fat to allowing fat to be used. Cinnamon also adds a mild sweetness without adding sugar, which makes the drink more enjoyable while still keeping it effective. When these three ingredients come together in the right amounts, they create a simple but powerful combination, not extreme, not overwhelming, just focused. Each one plays a role. Apple cider vinegar helps reduce spikes, lemon supports digestion and balance, and cinnamon helps improve insulin response. Together, they send a signal to your body that things are stable, and when your body feels stable, it reacts differently. It does not rush to store. It does not push you toward cravings. It starts to operate in a smoother, more controlled way. Now, the next part is where most people either get great results or completely miss the benefit, and that is how to use it. Because even the best combination will not work if the timing and method are wrong. This is where small details make a big difference. The first thing to understand is timing. When you drink, this matters more than people think. The most effective time is before a meal, especially before your largest meal of the day. This is because it prepares your body. It sets the stage before food enters your system. Instead of reacting after the spike, it helps reduce the spike from the beginning. That is a big difference. It's like preparing the ground before planting something instead of trying to fix it after. The amount also matters. Around 10 ounces is enough, not too much, not too little. Going beyond that does not make it work faster. In fact, it can make it uncomfortable for your stomach. The goal here is consistency, not intensity. A steady routine works better than extreme actions. Mixing the ingredients with water to reach around 10 ounces keeps it gentle and easy to drink. It becomes something you can repeat daily without resistance. Consistency is the real key. This is not something you try once or twice and expect a big change. It works through repetition. Each time you use it correctly, you are sending the same signal again. And over time, those signals build on each other. The body starts to adapt. It starts to expect stability. And that's when changes begin to feel more natural instead of forced. But here's the part where most people mess this up. They either take it at the wrong time, or they change the ingredients, or they add things that completely cancel the effect. Some people drink it after a heavy meal, thinking it will fix everything. Others add sugar or sweet syrups to make it taste better. And without realizing it, they remove the very benefit they were trying to get. Because adding sugar brings back the spike, it brings back the insulin response. And now the drink is no longer helping, it's working against its purpose. Another common mistake is expecting instant dramatic results. The idea that something will change overnight leads to disappointment. Some people do notice small changes in days, especially in how they feel, their energy, their hunger, their control around food. But visible fat loss takes time. The internal changes happen first, and if someone ignores those early signs and only focuses on the scale, they may stop too soon. There is also the mistake of inconsistency. Trying it for a few days, then skipping, then trying again, that breaks the signal. The body needs repetition to adjust. Without it, there is no clear message being sent, it becomes random again, and random actions lead to random results. Some people also overdo it. They think if a small amount works, a large amount will work faster. That usually leads to discomfort and makes it harder to continue. The goal is not to push the body, it is to guide it. Gentle, consistent signals work better than aggressive ones. When used the right way, with the right timing, the right amount, and steady consistency, the changes begin to show in subtle ways first. Energy becomes more stable. You don't feel that sudden drop in the middle of the day. Hunger becomes more controlled. You don't feel the need to snack constantly. Cravings reduce not because you are forcing yourself, but because your body is not asking for more all the time. Some people notice these shifts within a few days. They feel lighter, more in control, more steady. But the real results come from staying consistent. Over time, as these internal changes continue, the body starts to release stored fat more easily. That stubborn area begins to respond. Not suddenly, but steadily. The most important part is understanding that this is a process. It starts inside, it starts with signals. And when those signals are right, everything else begins to fall into place. The body moves from resistance to cooperation, from confusion to clarity, from constant storage to a more balanced state where fat can finally be used as energy. At the end of the day, this is not about doing more. It's about doing things smarter. Your body is already designed to burn fat, to balance energy, to keep things in control. It just needs the right signals at the right time. And sometimes, that signal can be as simple as what you choose to put into your body every day. It's not just 10 ounces, it's a signal to your body, a signal that things are stable, a signal that it's safe to release what it has been holding on to, a signal that shifts you from storing to burning, from fighting your body to finally working with it. And when your body gets the right signal, everything starts to change. Cravings become quieter, energy becomes steady, control comes back, and that stubborn fat that once felt impossible slowly stops being in charge. So don't ignore the small changes, because sometimes the smallest daily habit creates the biggest long-term shift. If this helped you understand your body in a simpler way, take a second to like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more simple health truths that actually make sense, and share this with someone who's struggling with belly fat, because the right information at the right time can change everything.